The revocation of the original ban, how does this change what's going through the courts right now?
Well, certainly the administration will probably file a request to have the cases thrown out. It's the ACLU and other plaintiffs, lawyers, I'm sure, will challenge that. They'll want to keep the lawsuits alive for the same reason that they said in their statement earlier. They still think it's just still an unconstitutional ban. And there will continue to be the taint of religious discrimination that will be alleged in these cases still.
Kevin, what's the significance that President Trump decided clearly not to front today's news conference? He left it to 3 members of his cabinet.
Well, they're looking to project that they are going to be able to have a much smoother rollout than that first round of executive orders that was struck down by the 9th District Court. We heard from Department of Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly. He said that, quote unquote, there should be no surprises. All of the cabinet secretaries who spoke at this rollout, noting that they spent an hour of outreach earlier today talking with congressional leaders. They began their outreach efforts last week, meeting and speaking with the leadership in Congress over the weekend at Mar-a-Lago. President Trump's chief strategist, Steve Bannon, holding a rollout meeting with top officials, again, to preempt any criticism. But Capitol Hill sources that I'm speaking with within the Progressive Caucus telling me that they are viewing this as little more than just a slight tweak on the already first round drafted executive orders, taking a large issue with this, despite, again, one of the nations, Iraq, being removed from this list. Vani?
So I just want to mention that when Rex Tillerson took to the podium, one of the first things he talked about was the ally that is Iraq in the fight against terrorism, and how he had some talks with Iraqi leadership and how that had been helpful. And Erik, if I can turn to you and ask you about this line here. Countries will then have 50 days to comply with requests from the US government to update or improve the quality of the information they provide. This was a fact sheet provided to news organizations about this new travel ban. What does that mean? Does that mean they can negotiate their way out of this ban somehow?
That does seem to be the point they're trying to make with that particular question. It's a roadmap of sorts for these countries to be removed from the list if they are able to implement various security procedures similar to what Iraq presumably has done. So it does suggest that it is a temporary ban, as they've said all along. And the administration was accused previously of trying to maybe have a more permanent ban in place, but this does seem to be a way for these countries to get off the list.
What sort of reaction are we expecting, Kevin, within the Republican Party?
I put that question as this was going on to some aides on Capitol Hill, to some more moderate members of the Republican Party. They told me that they're still sifting through the details. But again, that outreach effort, clearly a key point of difference from this rollout compared to the first round. They were widely criticized, these senior administration officials, for not working enough with this Congress. So clearly they're trying to preempt that. Without question, however, President Trump's absence from this rollout should not go missed. The fact of the matter that he is relying on his cabinet secretaries to push this out speaks volumes to just the heightened political tensions and awareness clouding and surrounding this issue.